I Got Legs nonprofit mission is to re-enable athletes with physical challenges. Today, I talk one-on-one with the founder of I Got Legs, Adam Gorlitsky, for this 2000th edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Adam Gorlitsky, welcome back to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Hey, what's up? It's a real pleasure to be here, Quintin.
Oh, I appreciate it greatly, and I'll have some news to tell you about at the end of the interview. But obviously, you are the founder of I Got Legs, and obviously, you are paraplegic, and you're helping other paraplegic folks try to get some sort of mobility in their lives. And I know that I Got Legs is a charity and lifestyle brand whose mission is to re-enable athletes with physical challenges and support improvements to life-changing technology. Let me ask you this, Adam. What improvements do you now support?
Oh man, well, so we're actually haven't announced this yet, but behind the scenes, we're helping to fund this our first research and development project. I'm not sure how much I can really talk about it,
sure.
But it's this artificial muscle actuator thing. So it's like a little piece of that we hope to add to a much bigger piece of the puzzle, if like that makes sense. But yeah, no. So with that project, and and it's still a little early to be talking about this element, but sometime this year we will be launching like our I Got Legs technology consortium. So I think this project will most likely be the first project to come out of that. But it's still a little bit early to talk about that, but it's something I'm really passionate about. With I Got Legs, we're helping paralyzed athletes walk again and getting other people like myself who are paraplegics, who are with spinal cord injury, paralyzed, to walk again with use of the exoskeleton or other walking devices. But our ultimate goal is to really drive forward all this amazing technology in a much bigger way. But yeah, so I think toward the third quarter of this year we'll be announcing some cool projects like that. So.
And another cool project that you're actually working on right now and getting ready for physically, I believe, is the virtual race.
Yeah. We have so every year we have 4 virtual races for I Got Legs. We started this program last year. So yeah, on April 17th, it's the I Got Legs virtual 1 miler plus 5K. So there's a 1 mile option, and then there's a 5K option. Yeah, it should be exciting. We it's our first virtual race where we're using it to help fundraise for somebody else's exoskeleton. So I look forward to doing that, and then hopefully racing against this fella. He lives in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
So hopefully by July 4th or Labor Day, I'll be traveling up to Memphis to race against this guy.
Oh man, that would be amazing! And then afterwards, you can eat some barbecue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think they say Memphis is like the best barbecue, right? So yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I remember when I worked at Qology Barbecue, they had different sauces. So you had the Memphis sauce, and then you had the other one. That's amazing. Yeah. And how are you physically and mentally right now with these virtual road races?
I actually kind of like them a lot. I think we initially started these virtual races, obviously because of COVID, but we were already going to go start to do more virtual races. And the reason for that is because it's to get more people in exoskeletons at our road races. I think we're about to celebrate our 5th year anniversary with I Got Legs. So I think one of the things I've noticed is that having people walk in a road race using an exoskeleton. Initially, some people are a little I don't want to say scared or intimidated, but they kind of want something to like warm up to. So these virtual races are a really good way to do a road race using your exoskeleton in like a really controlled, safe environment, and then branch out to like a much bigger road race. So it's actually been great for that. We've had other exoskeleton walkers now participate in them, and it's really broadened our entire reach out. Last year we had 400 between 400 and 500 people participate all around the country. I think it was like either 4 or 5 different countries too. So it was awesome. So I think just to kind of build upon that success from last year, and to really start getting other people with exoskeletons walking in these road races, and we also invite other disability-related nonprofits to these races to create their own teams and use them as fundraising mechanisms for their organizations as well too. So it's just like using these virtual races as a real way to like broaden our network out. Has really been an incredible thing to really see. So, but yeah, our first one is April 17th.
Yeah, that's just right around the corner.
Yeah.
And what is your network work like right now when you think of this virtual race and trying to fundraise and looking for, obviously nonprofit organizations to come and help you out with fundraising?
Yeah, right now, the majority of our network is here in Charleston, or I guess really in South Carolina. It's kind of amazing. I mean, we're starting. I think people are really like on social media, are really kind of seeing what our vision is, like our big picture vision. I've been getting people like late last night. I had some people from Austin, Texas, from one of the universities out there, like reach out to me wanting to talk about just what our vision is and what they're doing, like with disability related robotics and stuff. So it's just really cool to just to kind of see what So it's really cool to like do these virtual put everything out on social media in like a certain way, getting people gravitating to us, asking questions and wanting to know more, and then having them participate within our virtual races, and then eventually meeting everybody eventually meeting everyone in person, to really drive forward like our entire vision. So it's like a real 360 kind of approach, and I'm starting to we're finally starting to see some like really cool results that have been stemming from it. So yeah, man, it's a real exciting time. I don't know. It's yeah.
And what type of approach are you taking to your bigger vision?
Yeah, well, I think it's I kind of touched on it right then. It's like taking that 360 approach. We just kind of putting everything out on social media, talking about it, and then just kind of seeing who gravitates to it, getting people, and then from there getting people involved with our programs, with our virtual races, and then as the world opens back up, with the pandemic. Meeting these people in person, coming up with great ideas, and then just raising the funds necessary to go execute our great ideas. So I think, ultimately building this network, has to lead to us fundraising and just going out and then executing on all of our technology projects that we want to work on. I should say this: we've been talking a lot about technology, but one of the things I want to do with I Got Legs is to turn exoskeleton walking into a real adaptive sport. Exoskeleton walking, to me, for anyone that doesn't know my story, I've been paralyzed for 15 years now, and I've been paralyzed from the belly button down. But I have this amazing exoskeleton that allows me to stand up and walk. So I'm using this exoskeleton to walk. So I've used this exoskeleton to walk about 50 road races right now. I broke this Guinness World Record last year of the Charleston Marathon. So I texted you a picture of this, but I wanted to officially debut I Got Legs. Our I Got Legs championship belt. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can see it. I mean,
yes, sir.
Okay, you can see it. All right, cool. Yeah. So.
I see it now. Okay.
Yeah. So we're officially debuting this championship belt. So our goal is to turn it turn exoskeleton walking into more of a sport. One day have it be a part of the Paralympics. But to me, the first step into making that happen is to is to kind of create our own. I don't I guess our own like little sports league almost, where we race against people. Where I put this championship belt on the line and actually race against people. And the cool thing about this championship belt, I think we can use it as like a way to fundraise for someone else's exoskeleton that's going to like challenge me. So it's the I Got Legs Racing Circuit Championship belt. I'm going to put this on the line.
Yes.
I kind of figured that look, I can. I guess I have this Guinness World Record. I've walked about 1.2 million steps. So I guess I can say as of right now, I'm the greatest exoskeleton walker out there.
Yes, you are.
I look forward to taking people on. I'm challenging people to come out there, use their exoskeletons to take this belt from me. Let's just have a real good time with it.
Exactly right. Now, when you do compete and you want to, you put yourself up for those challenges, what else do you put on the line?
Oh man. Well, I guess there's probably a lot of different ways to answer that. I mean, I guess there's personal pride. What if someone beats me? It is possible, right? Yeah. I mean, there's always personal pride. Look, I think at the end of the day, it all comes back to our mission with I Got Legs, right? It's about turning this thing into a sport, getting more people. When I say this thing, I mean exoskeleton walking. Getting more people using these exoskeletons, fundraising for their own exoskeletons, and then ultimately driving forward all this amazing technology. So I think it all starts with turning this thing into a real adaptive sport for other wheelchair users like myself. But my goal is to have fun with it. I want to have fun with it. Just kind of have a little tongue-in-cheek fun with it.
Right.
But look, it all comes back to our, as I was saying, it all comes back to our mission with I Got Legs. Just driving forward all this technology and getting more people using these exoskeletons. So,
and you talk about obviously the amazing technology. You said, "Hey, listen, we want more technology projects to develop with I Got Legs." What are those other technology projects?
Yeah. So. Okay, so in terms of the exoskeleton, which is like I guess our main thing, because I'm obviously using this exoskeleton on a daily basis. Driving forward, I would love to create a new version of the exoskeleton. Right now, the exoskeleton, it's probably more Terminator-like. I describe it like the lower half of a Terminator suit.
Right.
It's incredible technology and it's amazing. But I think in order to really drive it forward, we have to turn it from Terminator-like to more Avatar-like. So I have a few ideas of like how to make that happen. That involve like this spinal implant that connects to the exoskeleton. But it's just finding the right research and development partners with that, and just raise it. I mean that's a really big project. So. It's going to take a lot of research and development. I'll probably have to be like my own test subject. We're going to have to make sure it's safe and everything.
Yes.
So,
Oh yes.
It's quite a big project. So, but that kind of thing stems from getting more people using this current one on a more regular basis. And I think as silly as it sounds, this championship belt. Is kind of helps out with that. It's like a big part of that.
Right. And it kind of relieves your mind, relaxes your mind and all that other stuff. And
yeah.
and you talk about test subject and research. Will that include, any brain data?
I could. I mean, so there's like that. With Elon Musk and his Neuralink. It's pretty incredible what he's doing, what he wants to eventually do with that Neuralink. One of the things that he said on one of the podcasts that he's doing is that he wants to cure spinal injuries. With that, with his that Neuralink. which I mean is incredible. I mean, it's but I think with me, it's like some kind of brain implant. I mean, it's I'm not sure if I would want to be like the first test subject with that. Maybe like the 500 or something.
Right.
I'm not, I'd have to like kind of warm up to that.
Right.
Like I'd have to like be in there to like see a surgery, see how it looks. I mean, it sounds like really intense, but
Yes.
I don't know. I think we're so yeah. So I mean, I'm that kind of thing is pretty realistic. I mean, it's kind of going in that direction. My thing is more or my concept involves this thing called the epidural stimulator, where we would implant the epidural stimulator. So I mean, I don't want to bore you too much with it, but it's the spinal cord implant that you would control an exoskeleton, not with your brain. Well, I guess theoretically with your brain, but it'd be a spinal cord implant, not a brain implant. So it's a little less scary than like the brain implant.
Right. I was going to say, and I know in the last interview that I did with you over across the street here this past summer, you said, "Hey, you would like to have more exoskeleton athletes for road virtual races." How many exoskeleton athletes have you recruited thus far?
Yeah. So last year we had 5 exoskeleton. So there's like 600. It's like between 600 and 700 people using them throughout the world. That was as of a year and a half ago. So that number's probably gone up a little bit. But so last year, in terms of like actual people using them in a more recreational kind of way through our road races or our virtual races, I believe we had 4 or 5 people last year. One of those people was this 5-year-old kid with cerebral palsy who used his exoskeleton and did the 1 mile, which was really cool to see. I mean, it's kind of ironic. It's actually the kids are like really want to like go all out with their exoskeletons.
Hey.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Like this kid who did it last year, our I think it was our Labor Day race. There's like a whole like little community of kids with their exoskeletons that do virtual races. So yeah, it was so cool to like talk to their parents about that.
Yes.
I think there's a real opportunity there to like get some like, and it's funny to like see the kids like beat the adults and like want to, so it's but yeah, so I hopefully this year we'll obviously grow from 4 to 5 to hopefully 10 this year. I think that'd be more realistic. One thing about all this exoskeleton walkers is that we're so spread out. We're like literally spread out throughout the entire world. So getting people to, it's just like to stay on top of people and keep everybody accountable and training and stuff is kind of a little bit difficult right now. But it's I think one of the things I've seen is as we do more stuff like this, these kind of interviews and just do more road races and post it on social media, the more people start warming up to the idea of everything that we're doing. So,
And you talk about obviously the kids having a fun time with the exoskeletons and the virtual road races. And I know the last time I interviewed you last summer, you said, "Hey, a lot of people frown upon and not even take the virtual road races to 1 milers seriously." How has that changed since the last time?
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely becoming more like I think socially acceptable is probably maybe not the right word, but I think it's I think people are starting to take it a little more seriously. I think there's people are starting to take it a little more seriously. I think eventually what I want to do, like my point of view going forward, as we get more people using these exoskeletons, and I guess challenging me to this championship belt of mine, is to kind of use our virtual races, or is to approach our virtual races kind of like a wrestling or boxing pay-per-view, so I'm not right now, like I'm not quite even sure what that necessarily means, but I think we can, if we treat them like that eventually, then we can start incorporating like a really cool media component to it. So so for instance, if I'm like racing against somebody at one of our virtual races, we can kind of hype it up like a boxing match almost.
Right.
Do little short documentaries over social media and just kind of get people excited about a virtual race, and it's almost like tune in to me racing against the other person and like running with us as we're battling each other walking. I think that would be cool.
Yes.
I think so I think going forward, like my point of view is to eventually approach everything like a wrestling or boxing pay-per-view.
As a matter of fact, when I spoke with you last year, you said you talked about obviously content creation. I think you pointed out just a tad bit here. But what life-changing technology are you using to create content?
Oh man, well I guess my exoskeleton. I should also say this. So these exoskeletons. There is a somewhat of a lifespan to them. There's a 5-year warranty.
Oh yes.
So a brand new exoskeleton comes with a 5-year warranty. And then I'll get back to answering your question. Sorry.
Oh no, take your time.
Because I just want to make sure that I get this out. It's important. So it's a 5-year warranty. My 5-year warranty is currently expired. My exoskeleton is broken, and these things are pretty expensive to fix. I use mine on such a regular basis that to fix each repair with no warranty, it's way more cost efficient just to fundraise for a whole new one. So I'm currently fundraising for a new exoskeleton. So I've been reaching out to a lot of grants and sponsors and stuff. But anyway, yeah, if you go to igotlegs.org, you'll see my campaign. But no, content creation. Oh man, my exoskeleton. I have this standing wheelchair.
Oh yes.
That I'll occasionally post on social media. Yeah, I think it's just kind of like there's like so much cool technology out there for people with disabilities. Yeah, it's just it's all about highlighting everything that's like available to the disabled community through social media, and then I guess trying it out myself. So yeah, so I think eventually I'll start reaching out to these companies more and having them send me stuff and like so I can personally try it out.
Yeah. Now, obviously, your exoskeleton has come to an end for right now until you get a new one. What can you do and what can't you not do now?
Yeah, so I can't walk. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So the exoskeleton, like why it's so great, like why I love it so much, just in terms of like what it does for me physically. It's like the greatest workout ever. It's the one thing that just like shreds my abdominal muscles, like because I'm paralyzed from the belly button down, so working those lower ab muscles and my lower back muscles, like it's so hard. So a lot of people in my position like have somewhat of like a belly on them, because their lower abs kind of hang loose, right? So working those lower, so working out your stomach muscles is really hard when you're paralyzed. So that's like the one thing that I miss the most, is just working out my core muscles through walking. But look, I have my hand bike that I've been doing a lot.
Okay.
I've been going to the gym a lot. I still have my standing wheelchair, so I've been doing a lot of just a whole bunch of standing workouts in my standing wheelchair. So
Yeah. And how much weight have you actually lost with this exoskeleton?
Oh man, I mean, in 5 years, I've easily lost between 20 and 30 pounds. I think I've lost like 4 or 5 inches from my waist. Gain muscle, much better posture. Yeah, it's really amazing technology, this exoskeleton. Like just walking around in it, it's like really is. It works out so many muscles that like you just can't work out otherwise. So.
Wow, that is so amazing. And I know, obviously, when I spoke with you for the last time for Quintin's close-up, you also talked about being, well, obviously, as a paraplegic athlete and a paraplegic person, that you're isolated and lonely. And you said there are lonely times in that particular period. How have that escalated since COVID?
Uh, well, I think it's well, I think I'm also like I don't know about I'm sure we're roughly the same age. Like like it's like the older you get, everybody kind of gets a family, married, has kids. So it becomes a little more like you have to like find stuff to like take up your time. So I think probably some of it has to do with that as well. I think it's just I've been spending a lot of time with family. Talking with friends as much as possible, via Zoom and FaceTime and stuff. It's getting better now because of all the vaccines that are coming out and stuff. So it hasn't been too bad. Yeah, has been too bad. Working out definitely helps.
That's exactly right. And obviously, when you go back to talking about fundraising, what exactly is your fundraising goal for the next exoskeleton?
So mine. So there's two. So there's I can fundraise, or I guess people who are fundraising for an exoskeleton like myself. I can get a used, refurbished exoskeleton that's comes with a 2-year warranty. That's $60,000, and then a brand new one that comes with a 5-year warranty is roughly $120,000. So my current campaign is set at $60,000 for the refurbished one. I've been talking with a lot of other foundations about grants and then getting sponsors to like match donations. So I think my goal is to raise the necessary funds for that 5-year warranty, that brand new exoskeleton, hopefully by the middle of the summer. I think could be a pretty realistic goal.
Absolutely. And what about those match donations? Where are we with that?
Yeah. So I've like just talked. I've been in talks with them. So it's like that kind of thing. Because those sponsors want to do it through like some kind of fundraising event within their business. So right now it's more like setting those things up for like May or June. So yeah, it's all about like setting things up. It's like everything is a meeting on top of a meeting for like 4 months down the road. Or whatever, 2 or 3 months down the road. So, but yeah, it's just like we're just in talk, like setting that up for like May or June. So,
yes, indeed. And obviously, I Got Legs is a charity and lifestyle brand whose mission is to re-enable athletes with physical challenges and support improvements to life-changing technology. Let me ask you this: what will be your mission in the next 5 years?
Oh man, well, I think I think it's probably the same. Where if we can really turn this thing, my goal is to turn this thing into a sport, this sport of exoskeleton walking. It's to me, it's the greatest adaptive sport ever. I describe it, Quintin. I describe it like have you ever seen Olympic race walking?
Right.
Have you really seen it? It's
yes, sir.
It's a real sport. It's a real Olympic sport. It sounds kind of silly.
Yes.
It's hardcore though. Like people, I mean, it's a hardcore sport. It's like power walking meets jogging, kind of, right?
Yes.
Where they do like 50 miles or whatever it is. So I describe the sport of exoskeleton walking like I describe the sport of exoskeleton walking like it's the Paralympic version of Olympic race walking meets NASCAR. Because this exoskeleton in a way is kind of like a NASCAR. If it breaks during a race, or you got to change out the battery, I do need like a 1 or 2 person pit crew to like help me do that. So it's like the Paralympic version of Olympic race walking meets NASCAR. So if we can like make that happen in a real official way, which would be actually getting it approved by the Paralympic Committee in 5 years, I mean that'd be amazing. That's quite an extensive process. So I'm not sure how long that will take. That might take 8 years. It might take 5 to 10 years to like really do that. But in the meantime, we can we'll be turning into a sport with the championship belt. Um, but no, so if we can, turn this thing, turn exascale walking into a sport, and then really start developing like a real network of research and development partners for not only exoskeleton, to make improvements with the exoskeleton, but there's so many other cool forms of life changing technology that other people that I like that I've seen that can where we can help to tweak and stuff. So yeah, so if we can just just really drive forward technology, and really hammer down on turning this thing into more of a sport, I think that'll keep me busy for like the next 5 to 20 years.
Yes, indeed. And what is that life-changing technology that you've seen that you can actually tweak and make successful in the next 5 years?
I shouldn't probably talk about this too much.
Okay.
But it's the same thing I was mentioning before. Right. I think there's real things with prosthetics, prosthetic limbs, which is the thing I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, ties into prosthetic limbs. I think there's a real opportunity there. And then I see with walking technology like this exoskeleton. So I think with prosthetic limbs in exoskeletons, I think there's a real good area there for us to kind of play around with. So
that's amazing. Well, Adam Gorlitsky, thank you so much for your time, and again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups. And on a side note,
yeah, I was going to say you had some news that you wanted to share.
Yeah. This is officially my 2000th interview. So,
are you serious?
Yes, sir.
2,000 interviews, man?
Yeah, since 2012. So every day I'm taping interviews almost every day. So yeah, this is amazing.
Congratulations! Seriously, man, that's an amazing. I'm trying to start a podcast some point this year. So it's kind of a scary thing to do. So I did. The mad props, man.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
That's incredible, man. That's amazing.
It's all because of grace God and Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dude, hey, you've been, you're working hard, man.